Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Football Studios. We have an action-packed week at the UFL to talk to. We're getting into the playoff series of them. All four playoff teams are set. Where they'll be at in the playoffs is still to be determined, so there's a lot of stuff to get to there. But as always, welcome to the Football Stooges, the stupidest way to cover football imaginable.
And boys, it's stupid.
Yeah. Honestly, some kind of annoying, stupid stuff coming up that we'll talk about with the UFL. Not too much NFL news, some little tidbits here and there. So this will be a shorter episode for you guys. But again, the UFL is in full swing. They're about to get into their conference championships coming in the next 2 weeks. So you have this week, the final week of the season, and then the playoffs start. So we're going to have a fun time breaking all of that down, looking at all of that. And yeah, it's going to be a quick little episode today. Again, not much NFL news, so let's get right into it. My right-hand man in 99.9% of all episodes, the Purell hand sanitizer, the Football Stooges, Mastodon.
Celebratory drink for the Boston Bruins being eliminated.
That was seems a while ago now. My stars and oh shoot, I should actually pull that up. Yeah, I actually need to pull that up. One of the guys in one of the groups I play games with is a avid Edmonton fan, and so it's kind of we're both walking on thin ice right now, just kind of talking to each other like all that stuff.
I'm talking about Boston getting eliminated.
That happened like a week ago, dude. We already
I
made
don't
jokes
care.
about
Oh,
this.
for fuck's sake, we're down 2-1 now. God dang it. Come on, Dallas. All right. And last but certainly not least, only three of us in the studio today. The newsman himself, it's K-Duff.
We have a studio. I've been recording from my house this whole time.
Yeah.
Invite me out, assholes.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get right into it. We'll start with the crossover grid, then we'll get to KDF news, which reminds me, I haven't even fixed the images for that, so that's gonna be a fun little thing I have to edit out. But anyway, let's get right into the crossover grid. I'm sorry if I'm distracted this episode. My stars are on it.
Touchdowns in a season with Green Bay.
Okay. 20 career fumbles. Brett Favre played long enough.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, it could be Favre or...
Yep. Played in 2 Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers only went to 1.
What about Bart Starr?
So, yeah.
Bart Starr.
Yeah.
There we go.
4,000 pass yards in a season and 10 rushing touchdowns in a season.
Well, I mean, I feel like we could do one of the rushers like Lamar Jackson, maybe Josh Allen.
Randall Cunningham?
Ooh, maybe.
I don't know if he had 4,000 in a season. No.
Nope.
Okay.
Maybe...
yes, a dog beater.
Michael Vick.
No.
Oh, still no.
Probably didn't have 4,000.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cam Newton?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
4,000 passers in a season and 20 plus career fumbles. Quarterback who can't run with the ball.
Ooh. That feels like that shouldn't be fair for Andrew Luck, but
yeah,
he had an offensive line that couldn't block for him, but also he got hit on a couple times and just coughed up the football. Like a guy hit him from the seeing side, not the blind side. He just 4,000 passers in a season, played in 2 Super Bowls. This list is crazy. Maybe it would have been crazy. Back, nope.
I mean, why not? Nope. Oh wow.
I mean, 4,000 pack yard back then, they would have hung you for witchcraft. So
2 plus Super Bowls. I mean, we could just go the easy route and say Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's a big one. Ooh.
Hold on, I'm trying to
Jim
think.
Kelly.
Not John Elway.
No. I mean, we could try Elway.
You could do John Elway, maybe. Why not John Elway? There we go. Played 2 Super Bowls, 4,000 pass yards. Okay, a Pro Bowler that has 10 rushing touchdowns in a season. Let me see if Cedric Benson. I don't know if he made a Pro Bowl. I felt like one season.
What was the Browns player? He was
Peyton Hillis,
running back. Like I think he had one good year, but then
they got like put on the
Peyton Hillis.
Cover.
Nope,
did not.
Nope.
Okay. Why not Frank Gore? I feel like he's had to have at least one year where he had 10 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
Hey.
Frank Gore, a Pro Bowler, 20 career fumbles.
Ooh.
Maybe a lot of guys here.
Well, you definitely wouldn't have gotten a Pro Bowl now the year you got 20 career fumbles.
Well, it's career, so.
Well, 20 fumbles. Yeah. Where did Favre? I'm trying to think of a guy who also coughed up a lot.
Did Mark Sanchez make a Pro Bowl?
Stafford was an interception.
Yeah, Stafford was interceptions. He didn't really have a lot of fumbles.
Ooh,
nope, Mark Sanchez didn't qualify.
I was gonna say Mac Jones, but that's more interceptions than fumbles.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do your boy Andy. Oh,
not
no.
my boy Andy. Andy Dalton was a Pro Bowler. Very, very like. I think like just. Yeah, I think he went to like 3. Andy Dalton had some really decent years. Like he was just at that fringe of like, you're not MVP, but you're definitely Pro Bowl. It's like.
So 2 Super Bowls and Pro Bowler. Let's put Jason Kelsey.
I mean, why? How can you not?
There you go. 1.7. Were any of our top picks? Yeah, Favre, 20+ career fumbles were there. So yeah. A lot of people like picking a bunch of different things. 9.2 for Brady here. I mean, Pro Bowler and 2 Super Bowls. That one's kind of just like you put a lot of people there. You put a lot of people there. All right. Oh yeah, that was a really quick, really simplistic football crossover grid. Let's take a look. If we go to NFL trivia, what is this? Passing yards, first in the NFL season, first Andrew Luck.
I don't know how that works.
I still don't know how this works. Final NFL season.
Passing yards in first NFL season.
The final NFL.
That says final.
Season.
Oh, final NFL. This what? Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. This one was so quick. Let's do another one. Let's do yesterday's football grid.
Got a bonus.
There we go. Bonus grid. Okay. This one. I'm trying to. Oh, we only have 9 guesses.
Okay, so
we have to be specific.
Von Miller.
I was gonna say Von Miller.
Yeah.
1,000 receiving yards a season. That we could do Diggs, I guess.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, and also be Larry Fitzgerald. 5,000 receiving yards in a season plus 5 rushing touchdowns. I think that's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I think we could do that.
Okay.
All right.
5 rushing touchdowns this season was a Buccaneer. Mike Allstott.
I would have actually said Lenny Fournette, but
5 rushing touchdowns in a season. We can do Eric Dickerson. Cardinals and Rams.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's also
a Buccaneer and a Cardinal too.
Bills. This would be Leonard Fournette.
He went to the Bills?
Wait. Yes. I don't know if Fournette went to the...
Yeah, he did. He's on the Bills right now.
Is he?
Leonard Fournette?
Fournette.
Fourn. No, he's on the Bills right now. What?
2023, but don't know if it's counting because
Leonard Fournette, football running back. Go to his Wikipedia page.
Practice squad. He was practice squad.
It says he played for.
Fournette made his 2023 debut that night during the Bills' Week 16 matchup against the Chargers. I don't know how that works. Yeah.
Neither do I.
I'm counting that one. Fuck it. So we just need Cardinals and Rams and Cardinals and Buccaneers.
Cardinals and Rams, Cardinals and Bucks. Thing is, though, we have to think of some of the older players because the Cardinals is basically the retirement home for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Totally not on Football DB right now. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay,
we don't have one.
Cardinals and Buccaneers, I got Chase Edmonds.
Oh, yeah.
And Cardinals and Rams. Division rivals.
Ooh.
They're not division rivals. Are they?
They're in division.
Yeah, they are division rivals. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Kurt Warner.
Oh shit!
How did we not think of that?
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe it's because it's the new Rams logo fucks with
Are
you.
you fucking kidding me?
Oh, Fitzpatrick. Oh, also Blaine Gabbert was a Cardinal. Wow.
I guess at one point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we've done 2 grids. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into KDF news. Testing.
Oh god, I'm on black screen again.
Wait. He's back. I forgot to do this. My bad.
And show me. Good thing it didn't show me bopping to the music.
Huh.
All right. So we're gonna start off with a little injury news. We're actually gonna dip into the NFL because with OTAs and off-season programs going on, there's actually a little news on that. We've already got confirmation for 2 running backs that have suffered injuries in either late in the season or in the offseason. First being Ravens running back Keaton Mitchell. He's confirmed by head coach Jim Harbaugh he will be missing most of offseason and training camp, and will have to be back sometime mid-season after he
Wait, Ravens?
ACL. Yeah, for the Ravens.
Oh, so it's John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Tore his. The fact that there's 2 Harbaughs in the league now is just gonna be fucking confusing. And yeah, apparently Mitchell was the guy who tore his ACL for the Ravens last, I think week 15 in their late season last year. So he's still recovering from that. The other one would be Rams running back Kyren Williams, who's expected to miss most of OTAs with a foot injury per head coach Sean McVay. As for the UFL, I think the only notable injuries I've got are for defenders tight end Brycely Moore McKinney, who's been questionable with a knee injury. Roughnecks quarterback Jaron Guarantano with a wrist injury. Showboats quarterback Case Cookus with a chest injury, as well as wide receiver David Davis with a knee injury. I've got Panthers wide receiver Trey Quinn with a calf strain. And John Lovett, running back for the Brahmas, with also a chest injury. And A.J. McCarron is also still questionable with an ankle injury going into the season. So it's also his apparently favorite target, Ja'Cory Pearson, also an ankle injury as well. So
they will probably all rest the final week because at least for the Brahmas and Battlehawks, they'll be playing each other, but it doesn't matter because the next week they'll play each other again in the conference championship for the playoff.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right about that. That's all I've got for injury stuff. Going on to trades, releases, retirements, and etc. Because I'm actually not going off the Google Doc this week because it's just been a very slow week for signings and stuff. It's just we're in that lull this season where most of the major signings and roster spots have already been filled up. Now we just got to wait to see what happens with the 53-man rosters once those get finalized later this year. Going on to the actual signings that happened, the Ravens are once again getting another undrafted free agent. And once again, it's another legacy player, as we've seen a lot of this offseason, especially this past draft, excuse me. They are signing former Villanova wide receiver Kadir Ismail, who is the son of former NFL wide receiver Kadri the Missile Ismail, who played 9 years in the league from 93 to 2002 and won Super Bowl 35 with the Ravens. The Raiders are reworking defensive end Max Crosby's contract that will give him an extra $7.2 million over the next 2 years.
Whoa.
Yep. So they definitely want to keep him around and keep him happy, considering he's like the heart and soul of their locker room right now. Going on to retirements, former Cardinals running back David Johnson has announced his retirement after 8 seasons in the NFL, played for the Cardinals, Saints, and of course the Texans when he was traded to them as part of the infamous DeAndre Hopkins trade. Aside from that, he's finishing his career with a Pro Bowl nod, 1 first-team All-Pro selection, 6,800 yards, and 58 touchdowns. Another retirement this week, kind of surprising considering he just signed with the Eagles 2 months ago. A former Patriots wide receiver, Devontae Parker, is announcing his retirement after 9 years in the league, spent with the Dolphins and Patriots and barely with the Eagles this offseason. He's ending his career with 5,600 yards, 27 touchdowns, and multiple all-ACC nods in college when he was with Louisville. So that leaves a spot open in their receiver room as of now. which has, as of apparently a couple hours ago, just been filled by a surprise unretirement. Retired last year after signing with the Chiefs, and he's an old friend of Lob's. Former Chiefs wide receiver John Ross is signing with the Eagles on a 1-year deal. And no real thoughts on that, considering this guy was a bust, and we're not expecting much out of him anyway.
He's fast.
He's-
I mean, but how you
he's
can
gonna
get
be-
him going
He's
that
real
fast?
He's really fast.
Oh no, the number 3 receiver. Okay.
Yeah.
Already
Oh,
have
boy.
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah. And let's not forget, he also signed Nia Smith from the draft as well. So
Yeah.
he could also jump up in the draft.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, I don't mind. Oh, like if he gets the 3rd spot, I don't mind having.
Yeah, he
a
could
young
jump up
guy
on
also.
the depth chart pretty quickly. Finally, on to miscellaneous news. Going more legal stuff for the Chiefs this week. Unfortunately, it doesn't involve a cutting of Harrison Butker. But we do have confirmation that the man who was assaulted at a Dallas nightclub earlier this month by Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice has declined to press charges, meaning that Rice will not be facing legal repercussions, at least from this incident.
Which means Rice probably paid him a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, probably. Maybe like an out-of-court settlement or something like that. Something that will probably take more than an out-of-court settlement are for 2 Chiefs offensive tackles that were arrested this week. Both Wanya Morris and Chuck Chukwuemeka Godric were arrested in Kansas for possession of marijuana, which is still illegal in the state. And as for other illegal stuff, this is kind of one that's been kind of going on for a while. That's kind of just started actually going into the courtroom. A lawsuit has been filed by sports apparel brand Fanatics against new Cardinals rookie wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., reportedly for breaching a contract signed for both parties for licensed memorabilia like game-worn jerseys or helmets and shit, and autographed shit like that. The suit alleges that Harrison Jr. signed a contract with Fanatics over a year ago with his dad, at Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison Sr., of course, acting as his agent because Jr. doesn't have his own agent just yet. That would basically give them all rights to selling collector's items and stuff like that. And his lack of signing a licensing agreement since coming to the league, and he has been hampering that, as well as there's a report that he's been selling his own stuff through an independent brand, the Official Harrison Collection LLC, which was named in the suit. That's all I really got about that particular story, because I don't exactly know the whole deal about licensing agreement contract. From the sounds of it, they just want to make money from him, and he wants to keep some of that money for himself for selling his own shit. I don't know what the NFL's policy on that is. I feel like it would be a bit of a breach of some sort of rule violation, but who knows? We've finally, 2 last things. The NFL has already announced that next year's draft, the 2025 draft, will be hosted in Green Bay. And earlier today, they've already announced the location for the 2026 NFL draft. That being Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. No actual location for the draft. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be at their stadium, Heinz Field. I don't know what the hell it's called anymore, but I'm still keep calling it Heinz Field. And finally, just to end us up with some sad news, former Raiders center Jim Pops Otto has passed away at the age of 86 this week. Known for being the guy who wore double zeros on the Raiders O-line in the 60s, and is referenced as the original Raider and inspiration for the team's logo. He played all 15 years of his Hall of Fame career from 1960 to 74 with the Raiders, being one of only 3 players who have ever played every single AFL regular season game before the league mergers. He earned 3 Pro Bowl nods, 10 first and 2 second-team All-Pros. He's part of the 100th anniversary all-time team and is a one-time AFL champion, this being the AFL's independent championship, which he won in 1967, 1 month before the first ever Super Bowl was played. So rest in peace to him. That's all I got.
Thank you, Kato. Alrighty. Let's get into the UFL news. Also, RIP again to Jim Otto, one of the best centers of all time. Definitely on my top 10 list.
This was a closer game than it should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, San Antonio was struggling with some injuries. They lost the workhorse of their offense, John Lovett, their running back. 11
Yep.
attempts, 37 yards for him. So a bit of a hinge, or a wrench. I'm going to say the hinge. A wrench was thrown into their plans a little bit, but they adapted,
Like a
still won
hinge
the
would
game.
also jam up the gears a bit if you threw one in there.
Yeah. The Brahmas didn't score in the second half. They scored 10 points in the first, 10 in the second, double bagel in the third and fourth. They were able to stop a Renegades comeback, who I don't think the Renegades scored a touchdown. Oh, no, they actually did. They did score touchdowns. They did get extra points. They got a touchdown in the third and the fourth. They did not score any extra points on top of that. So leading to a 20-15 final score in favor of the Brahmas. Vamos Brahmas. This secured the Brahmas position to enter into the playoffs. Where they match up is what's going to happen within the next weeks. So for the Renegades, Luis Perez, 22 for 33 for 209, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 67% completion percentage, and a 139.9 rating. Pretty good day for him. On the ground, both of these teams struggled. 65 total yards for the Renegades, 73 for the Brahmas. For the Renegades, Davon Smith, 10 for 38, Lindsey Scott, 1 for 21, Juan Mango, 1 for 4, Luis Perez, 1 for 2. Moving on to receiving, big tight end Saul Canella, 9 for 87 and a touchdown. I have a sneaky feeling he might get an NFL offer. He's been very good the past 2 seasons. He's a big tight end option. I
Yeah, I can see that.
don't know how good blocking he is. I haven't seen enough of the Renegades. The shocker, I haven't watched enough Renegades games, mostly because they're kind of ass. Sorry, Renegades. But Saul Canelo looks like a great target option. He's leading his team as a tight end and receiving every time. Sure hands, great target, great route runner. 9 for 87 and a touchdown is great. Tyler Vaughn's 6 for 75. Deontay Burnett 2 for 31. JP Payton 2 for 12 and a touchdown. And then Davon Smith 2 for 9. For the Brahmas, Quentin Dormandy 17 for 25 for 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, a 68% completion percentage, a 201.9 rating. Amazing day for him. The best performance he's had thus far in the season. Hopefully this continues into the last portion of the season as well as the playoffs. John Lovett before the injury, 11 for 37. Anthony McFarland, 9 for 18. Quentin Dormandy, 3 for 13. And Morgan Ellison, 5 for 5. Moving on to receiving, Latimer had a field day as well as Anthony McFarland. Cody Latimer, 6 for 116. Anthony McFarland, 3 for 118 and 2 touchdowns. Wow. Went off. Jonte Kirkland, 5 for 48. KD Cannon, 1 for 32. Pook Williams Jr., 1 for 3. What a name. Marquez Stevenson, 1 for 3. Then going on to team stats, there were 2 fumbles by the Renegades. Then 3 sacks by the Renegades, 2 by the Brahmas. And then 8 tackles lost by the Renegades, 2 by the Brahmas. So the defense of the Renegades really showed up. Brahmas defense kind of faltered in the second half, obviously, but they still got the job done. An amazing day for Quentin Dormandy. And when you have 2 receivers in triple-digit receiving figures, you're probably going to have a good day. Cody Latimer and Anthony McFarland really carried the team. Again, in the second half, we kind of fizzled out. That can't happen going forward, probably because it became a little one-dimensional with John Lovett out. But again, hopefully he can heal up and we can move forward with the season. We got some big games upcoming.
Also, probably let off the gas a little bit. Probably just like went on to
relax some guys
after having that 20 to 3 lead and a half. Just like, all right, let's coast this.
Yeah, and we might see more of the Gerber baby in the next week.
They've already like secured their spot in the playoffs, so I feel like they can just coast through the next week of games, and it's not going to hurt them too much.
Yeah,
they need to go like all out and risk injuries. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, any other final thoughts on this one? A good victory by the Brahmas, but kind of let up on the gas as we saw in the second half.
Basically got it to a T.
Yep. Alrighty. Moving on to DC and their loss against the Battlehawks. A tough-fought game. This sadly eliminated DC from playoff contention. They're out of the race. St. Louis has secured their position in the playoff race, going to be the 1 or the 2 seed going forward.
That actually scared me. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that kind of jolted me a little there too. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk score here. 21-26, the final score. Battlehawks get the win against the Defenders. This was in St. Louis. Jordan Tomu, 23 for 40 for 196, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 57% completion rate, and a 105.2 rating. Not a great day from him. Darius
Not
Hagen's
really, no.
8 for 37 on the ground. Jordan Ta'amu 5 for 30. Kiki Kuti 1 for 19, and Cameron Harris 3 for 3. 89 rush yards in total compared to the 141 of the Battlehawks. For the DC Defenders receiving column, Ty Scott 6 for 69 and a touchdown. Chris Rowland
nice.
5 for 34. Alex Ellis 4 for 58 and a touchdown. Brandon Smith 4 for 40. Caden Smith 3 for 9. Vincent Smith 1 for 8, and Kiki Kuti 1 for 6. For the Battlehawks, filling in for AJ McCarron, Manny Wilkins he had an all right day. He only went 9 for 18 for 126, so not a ton of reps, but didn't throw any picks. Had a 50% completion rate. I mean, 79 yards and 12 attempts, a 108.8 QB rating. He won the game, which was what matters. So he did a good job there. Just not a lot of reps receiving wise, which is one thing. Moving on to rushing as well. Wayne Gilman the second, 9 for 35 and 2 touchdowns as well. Jacob Taylor's 10 for 27 and a touchdown. 141 total rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. This was a ground pound game that DC was not ready for in the slightest. They got absolutely bully balled out of their
defense apparently.
Yeah, they were not. They got bully balled out of this entirely. Moving on to receiving, Hakeem Butler 3 for 39, Kamari Everett 2 for 22, Jake Sutherland 2 for 13, Wayne Gilman II 1 for 38, Jacob Saylors 1 for 14. Then we go to fumbles, 3 for the defenders, 1 for the Battlehawks, 4 sacks for the defenders, 2 for the Battlehawks, 5 tackles lost for the Battlehawks, 3 for the defenders. Again, run the damn ball. The Battlehawks won the game on the ground. They had 141 rushing yards to the 89 of the DC Defenders. They played amazing. Manny Wilkins filled in very well as far as all stats are concerned for AJ McCarron. Again, he's not as big of a passing threat. Obviously, only going 9 for 18. Not a ton of reps, only 50% completion percentage. But again, they switched up their play style and their playbook just to be able to get this guy some better reps at rushing. And, I mean, this guy was averaging 6.6 rushing yards an attempt at the quarterback position. Great job there. Got the job done. Set up the the St. Louis Battlehawks to go into the postseason. So this is a good win for them. And sadly, it eliminates DC Defenders, who were a team that was struggling all year through kind of a woe of mediocrity, I would say, in the UFL.
Let's see. A mediocre team I was rooting for with a subpar quarterback, bad O-line, and set line, and pretty awful defense. I feel like I'm watching the Patriots again.
Yeah.
Patriots was worse than mid.
I honestly think Jordan Ta'amu would be a better quarterback than Mac Jones, but...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because when a play breaks down, at least Ta'amu can make something happen, while Mac Jones just has to, like, fake an ankle injury, so... Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
His O-line was trash. Anyway.
This was a lot closer than it should have been, but again, the Stallions are just an unstoppable wave. 28-35, the final score. The Roughnecks fall to the Stallions in Alabama. For the Roughnecks, Nolan Henderson, 9 for 14 for 97 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, a 64% completion percentage and a 122.5 rating. Then Reed Stinnett, 6 for 13 with 99 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, a 46% completion percentage and a 120.1 rating. Both quarterbacks did kind of meh, and so the overall passing stats were 15 for 27 for 176, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a 56% completion percentage. Not a great, this is a very achievable stat for one quarterback, and to split it amongst 2 guys, rushing wise, they had a good day. Mark Thompson, 11 for 54 and 2 touchdowns. TJ Pledger the fourth, 11 for 39. Nolan Henderson, 9 for 34 and a touchdown, and Stinnett Reed, 1 for 8. Then for receiving, Kiki Chisholm, 7 for 80. Justin Hall, 4 for 73. Cecil Grayson, 1 for 24. Emmanuel Butler, 1 for 12. TJ Pledger the fourth, 1 for 5. And Braden Bowman, 1 for 2. For the Stallions, again, probably now with AJ McCarron's injury, front runner for the MVP, front runner for the MVP, Adrian Martinez, 19 for 31 for 173, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 61% completion percentage, and a 133.7 quarterback rating. He also ran for 44 yards and 6 carries and for 2 touchdowns. Other rushers were Ricky Pearson, 15 for 63, Larry Routier III for 5 for 32, and Dion Kane, 1 for 10. 149 total rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Great day on the ground for them. Both teams ran the ball very well. But then Receiving for the Stallions, Deion Kane, 4 for 29 and a touchdown. Marlon Williams, 2 for 27. Jay Sternberger, 2 for 30. Kevin Austin Jr., 2 for 20. Amari Rogers, 2 for 16 and a touchdown. Ricky Pearson Jr., 2 for 11. Benjamin Victor, 1 for 12 and a touchdown. Marcus Balls, 1 for 12. Jordan Thomas, 1 for 11. And Larry Roundtree III, 1 for 5. Team stats.
Very versatile day.
Yeah, 2 turnovers for both teams, 3 fumbles for the Roughnecks, 2 for the Stallions, 3 tackles for loss for both, no sacks for the Roughnecks, 2 for the Stallions. Very close game. Probably shouldn't have been. The Roughnecks are not on the same level as the Stallions, but again, if this was the Stallions' bad game and you still win it, you can't complain.
Do you think the Stallions is also not really fully trying since they already have the playoff and probably number one?
I don't know,
number
because I
one
mean,
seed in the
Roughnecks have had
conference.
pretty close games with actual contenders before this season. So maybe
The
it's just
Roughnecks
one of
shoot
those
themselves in
teams
the foot a lot. So
Yeah. Also, put some respect onto Bates. He might be MVP.
true.
that-
I mean, I don't know how willing people are in the modern day to give NFL or to give MVPs to kickers, but I think he's deserving of it. If not him, then probably Martinez. Those have been the 2 best guys in the league. After that, I would say the running back for the Brahmas, but I mean, at that point, you're starting to just extrapolate somebody.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the Birmingham Stallions are undefeated going into week. Is it 9 now?
9.
Yeah, going to week 9. There's 2 weeks left. 9 and 10. So yeah, they are an unstoppable machine. They have the Brahmas, and then after that, I believe, Stallions and Brahmas, and then it should be Stallions and Panthers. So yeah,
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It will. They played once already, which the Birmingham Stallions won, of course. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. All right. Any other or anything you want to bring up about this game before we move on to the final?
No, not really.
Yeah, Birmingham is just an unstoppable wave. I think the biggest thing is you have to make Martinez uncomfortable. That's hard to do against their offensive line. Finally, Michigan Panthers. As with every Michigan game, 24-18 the final score. We're going to look at first the special teams. Jake Bates only had 1 kick and he missed it. 51 and a miss. So,
shit.
Wow, off day
0
for
for
him.
1. Yeah, off day for him, but only 1 kick. So maybe lucky this is his off day. They still got the win. 24-18 the final score. To Memphis's passing, Kate Cookus, 10 for 16 for 179, a touchdown and a pick, a 164.6 rating, and a 63% completion percentage. Josh Love, 9 for 12, 56 yards, 1 touchdown, no pick, 75% completion percentage, and 141.7 completion or quarterback rating. On the ground, only 40 total yards, 11 for 33 for Darius Victor, Case Cookus, 3 for 8, and Titus Swin, 1 for 2. For receiving, Sage Sturrett, 5 for 55, Fendi Papale, 5 for 25, David Davis, 3 for 86, and 2 touchdowns, Darius Victor, 3 for 14, D. Anderson, 2 for 44, Jonathan Adams, 1 for 11. For the Panthers, Brian Lewerk, 6 for 11 for 82 yards and a touchdown, a 55% completion percentage, and a 147.2 rating. Bryce Perkins, 7 for 9 for 106, 1 touchdown, 78% completion rate percentage, and a 213.4 rating. Pretty good day for him, but again, a lot lower attempts. Their main thing was the ground and pound, which they did very well. Matthew Coburn II, 24 for 93 and 2 touchdowns. Bryce Perkins, 9 for 55, and Brian Lewerk, 3 for 13. Overall, 161 total rushing yards on 36 attempts with 2 touchdowns. As we always say on this show at the end of every episode, run the damn ball. That's what caused the Panthers to win this game today, or that weekend. For the Panthers receiving core, Devin Gray, 6 for 84 and a touchdown. Samson Nakua, 2 for 39 with relation. Cole Hikatuni, 1 for 21 and a touchdown. Trey Quinn, 1 for 20. Terry Wright, 1 for 12. Matthew Copeland II, 1 for 7. And Marcus Sims, 1 for 5. Team stats, 6 tackles for loss for the Panthers, 4 sacks compared to the 3 and 1 respectively of the Showboats. Great day defensively for the Panthers. 2 fumbles for the Showboats, 1 for the Panthers. Time of possession was 32-27. 1 turnover to the 0 for the Showboats to the Panthers. An amazing performance defensively and running the ball, at least for the Panthers. Their passing was a little lax for the modern NFL, or in this case, UFL, obviously. So, but hey, they got the job done. They still don't have EJ Perry at quarterback. He's obviously out for the year, so this is going to be really tough for them to adapt, and they're looking like they're trying to find a guy. You got 2 weeks, and then the playoffs start, and in that 2 weeks, you're playing Birmingham back-to-back. Well, in that 3 weeks, you're playing Birmingham back-to-back, once in the final game of the season and once in the conference championship. So you got to be ready. You got to find someone. I don't know why you haven't talked to Ben DiNucci. Beyond me, but
Ben DiNucci.
I mean, hey, at this point, like, fuck it. Give Tom Brady a call. Say, hey, you want to play at most 4 weeks of football? Like, come on.
Do it, Tom.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I was like Joe Flacco, or he got signed somewhere, but I'd be like Joe Flacco.
Oh my God! If Flacco signed with a UFL team, that'd be hilarious to me.
Matt Ryan, I mean, fuck it. Boomer Esiason, how bad can it get? But yeah, Michigan gets the win. An off day for Jake Bates, which is odd. He probably most likely will turn that around. He's a very surefire kicker. Stars.
Oh my God! How did I miss this? He's with the Colts.
What?
When did I fucking
Flacco?
miss that?
Oh yeah, Flacco.
Yeah, no, you already said that like a while ago.
I don't remember this.
Get a good shot. Get a good shot.
Signed March.
Fuck!
Oh, all the way back in March. That's funny.
Looks
On
like
the power of Joe Newendike. The power of Joe Newendike. Come on. Come on.
All right.
Let me see how the Celtics are doing.
Anyway, oh yeah, how are the Celtics? I need to check on that too.
Won by 16. Okay, cool.
They won by 16?
Yep.
Because last time I checked, they were not playing well.
I mean, Tatum's been pretty iffy, especially with his jump game.
Ever since Tatum messaged Kobe's old number, like, I'm doing this one for you, he's been horrible. 28 for Siakam, 16 for Nembhard, 10 for Halliburton, 4 for 8, and 2 for... Oh, not enough. Get those numbers up.
Yeah,
okay,
I'll take it.
He had 23. Jason Tatum had 23 on 9 for 20 and 1 for 7 from 3. What are you doing?
I'm not calling it jinx, but all I'm saying is that since I've shaved, we're up 2-0 in the series. So
Holy shit. Jaylen Brown went for 40.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, let's get into our predictions. Let's first look at the standings. Obviously, Defenders, Renegades, Showboats, and Roughnecks are out. So that means the Panthers and Stallions and Brahmas and Battlehawks, respectively, will be in their conference championships. I believe at this point, the Stallions, they haven't clinched the conference yet. If they lose both of their next 2 games, they'll be 8-2. And if Michigan wins both of their next 2, they'll be 8-2, and it will come down to strength of schedule, as well as points for and against. But that means the Birmingham would have to drop 2 games, Michigan would have to win 2, and also by enough points that their points for would be higher than the Stallions, where there's already an almost 80-point gap.
Yeah,
or 70-point gap.
I feel like it would be hard to lose. Like, I mean, they play the Brahmas this week, which might be a challenge for them. Whoever their week 10 opponent is, I mean, I feel like that one they could probably go either way and still win.
Yeah. Yeah, and then for the Battlehawks and Brahmas, they're both 6-2, so it's up in the air. The next 2 weeks are going to be very important for who has home field advantage coming into the final game of the season. So again, only 2 weeks left in the season, so let's get into our predictions this next week. Saturday, May 25th, we have 2 games, one at 12 and one at 3. First is St. Louis and Arlington. I'm taking the Battlehawks in this. I don't care if AJ McCarron's not playing. The Renegades are up and down and don't know how to play consistent football, in my opinion. So I'm going to take the Battlehawks in this by 3.
By how much? You cut
3. 3. Uno, dos,
Okay.
tres.
I'm gonna say St. Louis by 5.
Well, Mama's not here to say it, so those big, hard Battlecocks by 14. And Gorlami has also sent his in, so he's saying by 7.
Next up, Birmingham Stallions and San Antonio Brahmas from San Antonio, Texas at 3 p.m. on Saturday. If anything wins championships, it's defense. And if any defense is good in the UFL, it's a Wade Phillips defense. I'm taking the Stallions in this by 1 in overtime.
Ooh.
Stallions. Okay. Because how you were going off like that, I was like, oh, you're gonna pick San Antonio because Wade Phillips defense and
Oh, did I say Birmingham? I said.
you said Stallions.
Sorry, I meant San Antonio. Oh my God, San
Oh,
Antonio in overtime by 1.
oh,
I've been.
By
Oh.
one
I've been.
in OT. Okay. All right.
I'm not going against
I
my
think-
Brahmas. I'm not going against my Brahmas. I don't
think
know.
Birmingham. It's gonna be a tough one. I think Birmingham by 3 though, because they probably want to get the home field advantage for playoffs.
Off like a Jake Bates buzzer beater or something.
Well, Bates
Jake
isn't
Bates
playing.
on
Bates
Michigan.
is a.
Oh,
Michigan
sorry.
Panther.
Yeah. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm gonna go because this is. I also feel like it's gonna be a really hard fought one. I feel like the Brahmas are gonna edge it out, win by 3.
Okay, Ramos by 3.
All right, DC Defenders of Memphis Showboats. Again, this game doesn't matter. Both these teams are eliminated. However, I don't think Tom was going to lay down, especially on the road against Memphis. And I don't believe in Memphis in any way conceivable. So I'm going to take DC by
I'd be
10 in
surprised
this
if I
one.
DC by 10.
Yep.
Okay. DC by 9.
Gorlami's gonna be like, "Fuck you, Lob. You copied me." Because he also.
I
said
didn't even
then.
see his. I don't even see
Yeah.
his.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Defenders by 7.
Defenders by Sabian. Yep.
All right.
right.
Finally, Sunday, May 26th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, we got 2 games at 2:30. Kind of sucks, but one of them matters for the playoff seeding. One of them doesn't. So I guess from Houston, Texas, in Rice Stadium on Fox, Michigan versus Houston. I'm going to take Michigan in this one. I know they don't have a quarterback they're really trusting at the very beginning right now, but at the same time, I think that they could pull it off. I'll take the Michigan Panthers in this one by 6.
I'm going to say last second field goal by Bates, Michigan by 3.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a close one too. The Roughnecks have a tendency to make games close but trip over themselves. Give me the Panthers by 2. Yeah, Panthers by 2. Yeah. I think I was gonna say something else, but I forgot mid-sentence.
All right. Did we have any questions on last week's video?
Let me check.
And I updated the total scores for us.
Oh, yeah. What are those?
All right, so Gorlami's first at 35-7. I'm second at 33-6. Lob is third at 32-7. K-Duff is fourth at 30-8. Mamba is 25-13.
As long as I'm still not last.
Yeah, but you went 3-1 this week. Gorlami went 5-0. I went 5-0 this week. Mamba went 5-1, and Lob went 5-0.
All right. I forgot to look up a tier list, so that's on me. So I don't think we'll do that in this episode. So you've dodged another bullet, Macedon.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So yeah. Thank you for watching this recent episode of the Football Stooges. Shorter episode today, but again, we're getting into that final stretch. Obviously, the last 2 games of the UFL season, so make sure you watch those, especially next week. It's going to be very important, that final game of the season. That could determine the final seeding for who has the top seed and the bottom seed. The Brahmas and Battlehawks will be playing, possibly for the first overall seed in the XFL conference. And then the USFL conference, you will have the Birmingham Stallions playing, the Michigan Panthers. So that could also determine, based on what happens, the overall seed. So for myself, for Maston, and for K-Duff, thank you for watching the Football Stooges. Enjoy football that's upcoming. Enjoy the UFL. And anticipate the upcoming NFL season and college football. And hey, the fucking game is almost here. So enjoy all of that. And most importantly, run the damn ball. Have a good night.
Goodbye.